Logan and the Hobo. Best friends forever. Hey, I'm Mike from the Logan and the Hobo RV Adventure channel. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about maintenance on my Honda 2000 watt inverter generator. I'll be the first to admit that I haven't been the most diligent RV generator owner. I guess it's not an RV generator, it's a generator. Anywho, I was looking in the manual recently and I realized I hadn't been really keeping up with the maintenance that it suggested, and so I figured it was time to do some complete maintenance. And so I'll go over the maintenance schedule, or at least I'll post a picture of it, but I decided since I hadn't really been doing much of this stuff except for changing the oil, I would go through everything. The first thing I did was clean the air filter. Took the service cover off and the air filter cover off, make sure the little gasket for the air filter cover was still good. Pulled out the air filter, cleaned it with warm soapy water, and then rinsed it in clean water. There's 2 air filters. I let it dry for a day just to make sure it was completely dry. And then I used clean oil per the manual and soaked the air filter, just the main air filter, in oil. Dried it off and reinstalled it. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. At the same time I was doing the air filter, because the engine was cold, I went ahead and removed the muffler so I could get at the spark arrestor. I pulled out the spark arrestor and cleaned it with a wire brush. It was also pretty easy, pretty straightforward. There's a gasket in between the muffler and the exhaust pipe, and the gasket, in case you're unfamiliar with it, I didn't realize it at first. It's basically, it looks like it's part of the exhaust pipe. It's kind of sealed on there, and so I went to the local small engine repair shop and asked them about the gasket, if they had a replacement one, because I thought it was missing for some odd reason. And they said, no, it's on there, just look closer, it's stuck on there. When I reinstalled the muffler, I used a little bit of anti-seize compound on the bolts that hold the muffler in place. All right, let's take a look at the spark plug and see what kind of condition it's in. To remove the spark plug, I'm using a spark plug socket that came with my just your basic mechanics socket set, and it's 5/8 socket, and it's got a little like rubber grommet in there. Obviously the most complicated part of the maintenance is changing the oil, although it's not overly complicated, it's just got the most steps. And so I'll just walk you through what I did. Changing the oil on the generator and run it for about 20 minutes to get the oil warm so it all drains out. Pull the little drain plug dipstick and drain it into my oil container. Drain it all out and then refill it with clean 10W30 oil. That's what the manual recommends. The manual said to use no more than 13 ounces. It takes no more than 13 ounces of oil, so I was trying to measure how much oil I was putting in there because I didn't want to overfill it. I think the last time I changed the oil, I overfilled it a little bit and it was causing a little seepage problem. So I was so careful to not overfill it that I underfilled it. I ran the generator and the oil indicator light came on and it shut the generator down, which is a nice protection feature. After the oil protection light came on, I obviously added more oil and now it's running like a champ. It is hard to know, it's not real obvious when you're filling oil in there where the fill line is. It's a feature I wish they would improve a little bit in the design. make it easier to tell when it's full of oil. So I did a little bit more research on how much oil to put in when you're refilling the oil tank, and I watched a video from Honda that was actually put out by Honda, and it gave a pretty definitive answer that you want to fill the oil all the way up to the top of the threads, almost to where the spout is, where the oil starts coming out. And the oil fill cap also has a dipstick on it, and you can use that to check the oil level. You stick it in without threading it, and it'll show you the oil level. Just a couple quick thoughts I have on RV generators. You definitely want to use an inverter style generator that's an enclosed case, just because it's a lot quieter. You don't really want to use an open frame generator because it's loud and you're going to disturb anybody that's around you. Also, my philosophy is I got the Honda because the Honda is known for reliability, and the generator is the kind of thing that I don't want to have problems with, and so I was okay with spending the extra money for the Honda because it's more reliable, and I've had mine for 3 years with 0 issues. And so that's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of people like other brands of generators, and there's some good ones out there. So we cleaned the air filter, we cleaned the spark arrestor, we checked the spark plug, and we changed the oil. And according to the manual, that's all that they recommend that you do. The other functions outlined in the manual require special tools, and they recommend that a professional do those, and so I'm not going to mess with them, at least not today. That wraps it up for this episode of the Logan and the Hobo RV Adventure Channel show. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.